out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes. They gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes. They gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode. And we're back to preview week 10. We got 6 games to preview this weekday, 2 today, 1 tomorrow, 3 Friday. Then I'll be back, obviously, to preview week 10 the weekend. Now, before we start, I'd like that you leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, helps the network. It helps my channel, CTC, by the way, of the Refuse to Lose Network. We also got shows like The Main Show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. They go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We got BWT Baseball with Teddy. Yankees got a big win yesterday to go to make the series 3-1, avoid the sweep. So shout out to the Yankees for that. The Dodgers coming back with Jack Flaherty today. As y'all know, my favorite player is Shohei Ohtani, so I am rooting for the Dodgers. And me and Teddy do have a Chipotle bet on that, so double chicken. Next, we got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. He goes over fantasy football, start, sit-em, players of the week, stuff like that, gems, who you should trade for, things like that. So any fantasy football-related news goes through him. Next, we have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sport. So highlights being the Yankees winning. Lowlights, my Pistons are currently 0-4. So all your highlights and lowlights of sport goes through there. Next, we have Unfazed featuring Joe and AJ. Every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Yesterday, I think, was completely NFL, but they're starting to tap into the NBA. NBA season just started like a week or two ago. So, Unfazed there. We have RBO, Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn. Magic fan, all your NBA content through there. Shout out to Palo putting up the 50-piece. I believe that was yesterday. So, shout out to Palo for that. We have In the Red Corner featuring Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. Boxing content, all your boxing news through there. And I believe that's Kings Talk. Last but not least, we have Kings Talk, Sacramento Kings Talk with Joe. So all your Sacramento Kings content through there. He typically goes live after the end of Kings games. So make sure you tap in if you're an NBA fan, Kings fan, just want to learn something about the Kings. Tap in there. But that's all the shows we have to offer on the network. Like, comment, share, subscribe to those as well. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, let's talk about these games tonight. We got 2 tonight. We got Conference USA action. First game is Jacksonville State. I got the shirt on today. Jack State versus Liberty tonight, 7 o'clock on CBSN. That's where you can catch this game. Now, Liberty is home favorites. They're favored by 2.5 points, coming off a loss to Kennesaw State. Jack State on the road, coming off major wins. Blowout win against Middle Tennessee State last week. Now, for Jack State, they got to stop Caden Salter's legs. He's good on the ground. He's good with his legs. He will score touchdowns using his legs. He's a good runner, explosive runner. Got to stop his legs. You also got to stop Quentin Cooley and Billy Lucas, because that's the run game is what makes Liberty offense go. So basically, you got to stop the run. Quentin Cooley, Billy Lucas, Caden Salter. You also got to establish your own run game, your own quarterback at that with Tyler Huff. Tyler Huff has been huge on the ground for Jack State these past couple weeks, especially in conference play. He's been doing his thing on the ground. So you got to run him. You got to establish a passing game. You got to establish a passing game if you Jack State. That's going to be so huge for Jack State, being able to move the ball through the air. And you got to basically take advantage of this Liberty defense. And you got to score touchdowns, not field goals. If you're Jack State, you got to convert drives into touchdowns. You cannot settle for field goals against this Liberty team, because they will drive down and score touchdowns of their own. You got to put up 6, not 3. Now, if you're Liberty, your defense has to be better. Defense let you down in the Kennesaw State game. Your defense almost let you down against FIU, allowed them to come back and send it to OT. Your defense has been bad for you throughout Conference USA play in general for Liberty. Now, you got to stop Tyler Huff on the ground. Tyler Huff has, like I said, for Jack State, he's been phenomenal for the ground. So you got to stop his legs as well. Get Jack State in passing situations consistently. Now, every now and again, obviously, Jack State's going to throw the ball. They can't be one-dimensional. They got to keep defenses guessing. You can't just run. Obviously, they're going to pass. But you got to put them in situations where you know the pass is coming, and you got to be able to do that consistently. And you got to get off the field on third downs because, again, your defense has been really bad. And if you allow Jack State to keep converting third downs, getting in that hurry-up offense, high-tempo offense, it's going to tire and wear down your defense. And lastly, you got to contain Trey Stewart. You cannot forget about that guy in the backfield, Trey Stewart. He's a phenomenal running back in his own right for Jack State, putting up touchdowns for Jack State. You got to contain him too. But my winner in this, you see the shirt. Going Jack State, man. It's honestly because Liberty's defense has been terrible. They have been terrible, and Jack State's offense has been really good. Jack State has been taking advantage of defenses, and Liberty's defense is the sole reason, in my opinion, well, not the sole reason, but the main reason, in my opinion, why they lost to Kennesaw State in upsetting fashion last week. So I'm rolling with Jack State to take advantage of a pretty porous defense in Liberty. I think it will be a high-scoring shootout, but I think Jack State in the end will win it. Next, we have the mentioned Kennesaw State, which I got to change my spelling. I think I added an extra S. No, I didn't. Kennesaw State at Western Kentucky tonight as well, 7:30 on ESPN2. Western Kentucky comes into this game as 24.5-point favorites. Kennesaw State's coming in this game, like I said, off of an upset win against Liberty. Western Kentucky has been doing their thing in Conference USA play as well, looking like one of the better teams in Conference USA. So let's get into it. Kennesaw State is going to have to defend the pass. They're going to have to defend the pass because Western Kentucky is coming to air the ball out. Davis Bryson has to be mistake-free. He was mistake-free last week. He had a really good game last week. Now, if you remember, Kennesaw State has not been mistake-free. Just not been a thing with them. They've been turning the ball over left and right, but last week they did not, and they got to do that again this week. Got to get off the field on third down. Do not let Western Kentucky extend drives, make plays, because they will put up touchdowns, and then that means that will force your offense to match their offense. I don't think Kennesaw State offense can do that. Establish your own run, basically, to try to control the clock, establish the run. Don't become one-dimensional, and if you're putting the ball in the air a lot, that gives Davis Bryson more chances to turn the ball over. And you got to make this a low-scoring game. You don't want to make this a shootout, because if it's a shootout, like I said, your offense is not going to keep up with Western Kentucky's. You have to make this a low-scoring game. Now, if you're Western Kentucky, force turnovers. Again, that always has been the Achilles heel of Kennesaw State. They've been turning the ball over. Western Kentucky has to get them to do that again. Got to establish Elijah Young, your running back. Got to establish him so you won't become one-dimensional. We know you can pass. Establish your running back as well. Score. Now, the reason, obviously, like I said, you put up points. Kennesaw State's offense is not going to keep up with their offense, so you have to put up points. Get the ball to Dalvin Smith. I like Dalvin Smith on that outside for Western Kentucky. Give him the ball. He can go get it. I like him on that outside. You got to stop Kennesaw State's run game to make them pass the ball to force those turnovers. And my winner in this, there won't be an upset with this one. I'm going with Western Kentucky. I've been saying it throughout the preview. Western Kentucky's offense is too good. They're not going to be able to keep up with Western Kentucky's offense, they being Kennesaw State. They're just not going to be able to do so. They might be able to get some stops, but they're not going to get consistent enough stops to stop Western Kentucky from winning this game. Western Kentucky at home, they are prone to big plays, making big plays. Western Kentucky is prone to making big plays, and I don't see that stopping this tonight. So give me Western Kentucky tonight over Kennesaw State. We move on to Thursday night, where we have some American Conference action. We got Tulane coming into this game as 14.5-point road favorites, going against Charlotte, 7:30 ESPN. You catch that game there. So for Tulane, obviously you got to establish Mekhi Hughes. He's the best player on that offense. He's the heart and soul of that offense. Obviously, you have to establish the running back, Mekhi Hughes. Get the ball to Mario Williams and Dante Fleming, too, on the outside. Don't forget Euclid Brown in the slot as well. But I think mainly they got to get the ball to Mario Williams. Get him the ball. Force some turnovers. You're on the road. Your defense is prone to forcing turnovers. So, obviously, with that being said, your defense being opportunistic, force some more turnovers. Score. Because, again, this is one of those games where I think if Tulane scores, unlike North Texas, who are able to keep up with you offensively, even though for a while they fell off, Charlotte's not going to be able to consistently keep up with you offensively. So if they put up 45 again this week, Charlotte's not coming close to that. So score touchdowns and continue to score to distance yourself from Charlotte. And put Charlotte in passing situations. Put them in situations where they have to pass the ball so your opportunistic defense have more chances at creating turnovers. Now, if you're Charlotte, you got to stop the run, which is Mekhi Hughes. You got to stop Mekhi Hughes. It's tough to do. Teams have yet to do it in American League play, but you got to try to find a way to stop it. You got to make this a low-scoring game. Again, like I said, man, if Tulane is able to score like they were at will these past couple weeks, I don't see Charlotte being able to do that to keep up. Win the turnover battle, because, again, Tulane's defense is opportunistic. You're going to have to force some turnovers. You're going to have to force some turnovers yourself, and you got to consistently do it, because with this opportunistic defense and that run game, short fields, they're going to score. So you got to win that battle. Need momentum plays. You're at home. Get the crowd involved. College football atmospheres are huge home crowd advantages, or home court and basketball, home field advantages. So you got to get some splash plays, some turnovers, something big to get the crowd involved. And you need clock control. Win the clock. How do you keep an offense from scoring? You keep them off the field. You control that clock. You take a bunch of time off, but you got to score 6 and not 3. And you got to score on those long drives. But my winner, Tulane. Again, opportunistic defense mixed with a high-scoring offense. It's just disastrous for a conference like the American Conference. And the American Athletic it's being ran through right now by Tulane. Shout out Coach Willie Fritz, but not Willie Fritz. John Summerall. Fritz is at Houston. My fault. They've been looking dominant in this American Athletic Conference, and I don't think that changed tomorrow night. Give me Tulane to win that game. We move on to Friday night, where we have 3 games Friday night. The first one being Georgia State at UConn. Georgia State in the Sun Belt. UConn, I want to say they're independent in football. I know they used to be American. They're Big East in basketball, so I think they're independent in football. But Georgia State, Zach Gibson, this should be his third game playing. He didn't start the first game against Marshall. Christian Velo did, and then Zach Gibson came in to replace, and he's been playing well since. But Zach Gibson has to remain turnover-free. He has yet to throw a turnover in these 2 games that he's played. Got to stay turnover-free. They got to establish Freddie Brock, the running back. Got to be able to establish him. Score early to take the crowd out of it. Zach Gibson has been playing well. So he has to continue to play well, lead some touchdown drives to get the crowd out of it if you're going against UConn. Stop the run. The run game for UConn has been pretty well. They got to be able to stop the run. They weren't able to stop the run against Marshall. A.J. Turner went crazy. I'm going to say crazy. I almost said a different word. He went crazy against them, and it cost them. And you got to get off the field on third downs. Now, if you're UConn, you got to force Zach Gibson's first interception or some type of turnover, fumble, interception, something. You got to force it. You got to be able to run the ball. Like I said, man, running the ball, feeding Darrell Robinson, running the ball for Marshall with A.J. Turner. It hurt Georgia State. UConn got to be able to do the same thing with Darrell Robinson. You got to contain Freddie Brock. Make Zach Gibson have to consistently beat you with his arm, which he's been playing well, but let's see what he do when he have to consistently do it. Pressure Zach Gibson. Again, that's all in to try to help force that turnover. And you got to get the ball to your transfer, Skylar Bell and TJ Sheffield. Get them the ball in the outside. Let them make plays. And my winner in this one is UConn. I think UConn wins the game. UConn has had an amazing turnaround from last season. They're playing really well. I think they will be able to establish the run against the Georgia State defense. I think they'll do a pretty decent job against stopping Freddie Brock. Zach Gibson, although he has played well, he's yet to win a game, and I don't think it starts Friday night. I think UConn wins Friday night. We move forward to South Florida, one of my teams I was high on this year, but dealt with a little bit of injuries, not enough to be currently where they at. They're going against FAU, who's also dealing with some injuries. Both of them are dealing with questionable quarterbacks. Byron Brown is questionable to play. He's been out for a while. And Cam Fancher for FAU are both questionable. He's questionable to play as well. So we'll learn more about that as the week progresses. But right now, they're both questionable to play. South Florida, first point was, will Byron Brown play? He has not been playing lately. Byron Brown runs this offense a lot better. I know he likes to they run the ball a lot, and he's a guy that's tough to bring down at quarterback. So will he play? Yeah, the next, they got to get the ball to Sean Atkins, man. Sean Atkins is the best player on this team. You got to get him the football. Let him make plays, whether it's down the field, whether it's some screens. Get him the ball and just let him make plays. Establish Kelly Joyner and Naquan Wright in that backfield. Again, USF loves to run the football, so you got to establish your two backs. Prepare as if Cam Fancher is playing. Now, the reason I say that is because Cam Fancher can't use his legs. As a Michigan State fan, I know we played them week 1. So if you prepare as if he's not playing, and then his backup doesn't really run like that. So if he plays and you're not prepared to stop the run, it's going to throw you off. So you got to prepare as if he is playing for that reason. And finally, you got to make FAU pass, because FAU isn't the greatest passing team. USF had a string of games where they had like 2+ turnovers. So this defense is still opportunistic. Just got to put FAU in situations to allow your defense to force turnovers. Now, if you're FAU got to prepare as if Byron Brown is playing, because, again, he's so key in their run game. So you got to prepare just in case, because he's questionable. You don't want to prepare that he's not there, and now he plays and it throws your defensive game plan all whack. Who will step up at wide receiver? Because FAU is dealing with a bevy of injuries at wide receiver, including their leading receiver. He is injured. He's not out. He is questionable, I believe, as well. But they're dealing with a bunch of injuries at receiver position. Somebody's going to step up. Got to key in on Sean Atkins. Again, I would say right now USF's the best player on the offensive end. Got to stop the USF run because they love to run the ball. And you got to create turnovers, because I think that their offense, they're going to be able to establish the ground game against FAU. So you got to create some turnovers, whether it's punching the ball out, putting them in passing situations, and forcing an interception. You got to create the turnovers. But my winner in this is USF. I think USF, loving to run the football, is hard to create turnovers. I think the defense is going to force FAU in the passing situations, and with those receivers being out, it's going to be tough to pass the ball, and it's going to be tough when Cam Fancher, if he's not playing, is out if he's out. So give me USF. I just trust USF game plan and the way they're built. I trust that more than I trust how FAU is built as a team. So I'm going to take USF on the road to win that one. And we have our final game Friday night. We have San Diego State at Boise State. Boise State, 23.5-point home favorites going in this Mountain West battle, 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Now, if you're San Diego State, obviously, if you, like any other team, you got to contain Ashton Jeanty. You got to find a way to hold him to 100 yards. Yes, holding Ashton Jeanty to 100 to 120 yards is containing him. I know it sounds crazy, but they just said UNLV contained Jeanty last week. He had 130 and a touchdown. So, yes, you got to contain him, hold him to like 100 to 120. Got to watch out for Cam Camper as well, the Indiana transfer. Pretty good on the outside for Boise State. You got to establish your own run with Marquise Cooper. Just establish the run, wear down that defense as well. Try to keep the ball out of harm's way. Force Maddox in the pass, because if he's killing you in that ground game, and if Maddox doesn't have to pass as much, it's gonna be a long day. Get off the field on third downs. You got to put him in long down and distances and get off the field so Jeanty don't get extra opportunities to break that long run for a touchdown. Now, if you're Boise State, obviously you just got to run Jeanty run. Feed Ashton Jeanty. Stay ahead of the chain so you can continue to feed Ashton Jeanty. Contain Marquise Cooper on the other side at running back. Use the play action, because Jeanty is such a threat. Play action will bring the defense down. Maybe you can hit him over the top. and get San Diego State along down the distances so you can create turnovers, get off the field, and things of that nature. And I'm obviously rolling with Boise State, who's hot. They just beat a really good UNLV team in a really good game on the road. San Diego State, I think they will not be able to contain Genty. I think Genty has a really great day on the ground. It's going to be tough for San Diego State to score against this really good Boise State defense. Boise State is hot. 15th ranked in the country. I forgot to mention that. No disrespect there. I love Boise State. But I just think Boise State just is too much for a San Diego State team. Give me Boise State to win this game. And that's everything I got for y'all tonight. Please enjoy these college football games that kick off in about 20 minutes. We got other sports, other shows. I think Dave is going live tonight. I'm not sure. Teddy might go live after the end of Game 5 of the World Series. But I'm gone. I will catch y'all next time. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.